teacher on a plan of assistance, to be able to sit down with them as well. And I also used to be a PDC rep, helping teachers write their SMART goals and write their plans. When I was at Junction City High School, I oversaw the Freshman Success Academy as far as and that was, I'm trying to think of how many teachers there were in that little section right there. There was like 40 or 50 teachers. They were coming to me as far as writing their SMART goals and everything. So as far as an instructional person, I have a PE background. I taught health. I've seen a whole bunch in the classroom and out of the classroom, but me just trying to be able to communicate with the teachers, the first thing is trying to build the relationships and be able to communicate. No, you already have your mic, awesome.
How would you ensure and measure accountability of staff and faculty in the district?
For starters, we got to see what's the district policy, what's the school policy, what's the handbook saying, or is everyone, and no one's going to, it doesn't matter how long you've been in the school or how little about you've been in the school, if you're not following whatever the set policy is by the school board or the school, you're just going off on your own little tangent. Those people are going to be, number one, I'm going to have a conversation with the people. I'm not a person who's going for punitive. I'm not going to be looking at, we're going to be looking at trying to see what can we do to actually fix the problem, or if there's a problem, what can we actually do to help you basically guide you through and get you back on the right path. I also like teaming people up with each other. I've had some teachers who, one teacher had no idea because they taught history, and they were going into an elementary classroom, and they were going to go see what the elementary classroom was going to go do. Why? Because you kind of see what the format has been done. I've done that with an English teacher, I've done that with a history teacher, and various others. It was a nice thing about getting out of your element out of a classroom and going to see somebody else's, just to see the little things of how they do it, is huge. And also knowing a teacher, there's a line you can cross, and no matter what, I'm going to have your back up to in front of the public. I'm going to totally have your back all the time. But when you cross that line, behind closed doors, we're going to be having some serious discussions, and it all just goes by student safety. If you're jeopardizing student safety and the needs of the students, that's our purpose here, right then and there. So that would have immediate, action as far as that would go. And I'm not a person who rushes out for just a quick decision. I'm just going to just put the hammer down. I do a thorough investigation. I'm going to talk to people, and we're just going to be able to see what the right processes would be just moving forward.
How would you approach building strong relationships with students, parents, staff, and the broader community to ensure a collaborative and supportive school environment?
For starters, you actually have to, come to the community and see what's going on in the community. You go to local events. You see what's going on seasonally. What events you have going on in the spring. You go to ball games. You go to during the summer. There's a ton of activities that happen around this area in the summertime. And just being part of the community, getting your face out there, talking to people. Big thing is just trying to build relationships. And I also going into a new position was also letting the people. I would put things out through the social media page that we had at the school I came into, letting the people know who I was, what my background was, sending emails out to people. I know some people, they get drowned in emails. That's not my intent as far as that goes. Having some meet and greets, bringing people in. But the big thing is just having those just one-on-one sit-down conversations. Like if I was selected before the school year would end, it would be my goal to be able to come into the building and meet with every single person in this building one-on-one for at least 10 to 15 minutes, just depending on what the time was, just to be able to get to know the people. Because if you don't know the person you're working with every single day, it's kind of hard to build in relationships. And I'm a relationship person. I was at USC 475 for 26 years, got to know a lot of people. It took a lot for me to be able to have to leave a district I'd been in for that long to go to Wakefield, 379 for the 2 years. But I just knew, my family and I just felt it was the right decision for me to be able to move on. And just as far as this community here, it's easy. It's a lot easier. People around this building actually stick around and they stay. The longevity here is a lot longer than other areas out there. With nothing against the military, but a lot of those the transient people coming in and out, and it basically becomes a long-term relationship really quick. Here, it's just you really want to get to know the people, and we never know when one day you're going to be driving to work, the next day you may win the Powerball, so you're never going to work again, so you will be able to keep those relationships with those people. So it's just kind of, what are you going to do if you're not here the next day? You want to be able to be remembered and be able to have people just not forget about you in 5 or 6 seconds.
What specific strategies would you use to ensure consistent, transparent communication with parents throughout the school year?
Currently, I do a monthly newsletter, and I get teachers involved. I try to get as many teachers involved. Do a spotlight teacher of the month, so they're trying to write something. We're trying to have the media class are going in, interviewing that teacher, getting that part out. The calendar is always out there. I have an interactive dashboard right now. The parents are always talking about, oh, we don't know where to get this form. We don't know where to get this form. So a lot of things you actually had to go into the school to get the piece of paper. And I asked, I said, is there some reason why it's not digitally made? I'm like, no, we just haven't done it. So just putting that access on there so they had a central place they could go to get a lot of their questions answered. And that part of the communication just makes it a lot easier from everyone's standpoint. I also do the same thing for the staff. We have a staff dashboard as far as that goes, so the staff can, if they need questions they need answered, little things that you don't want to go ask the person every single time, where do I find this one little piece of paper, or I lost this piece of paper. And just with me talking to the parents, I try to my goal every month is always to try to make 10 phone calls, positive phone calls to parents a month. Because whenever they hear from I started this way back when. It started off with 5, and it would have parents, whenever you call, you're going, why are you calling me? I must be in trouble. Well, you actually call them and you're saying how well their student did in the classroom. You saw them in a play, you saw them in the band, you saw them on the athletic field. Just making those positive connections with parents is huge, just because they need to know that you're there vested for their kids. And their kid's not just a number on the wall, and when they leave, they should be able to come back into the walls and be able to say, hey, I was part of this, and they just want people to know that we care about them, and if they come to me and they ask me a question, I may not always have the answer, but I'm always here to listen, and I'm always able to hopefully find the answer.
What strategies would you use to address challenges unique to small rural schools, such as limited resources, staffing, or access to extracurricular opportunities, while maintaining high educational standards?
Number one, when you set your standards, the education is the high point. We're not going to sacrifice education. We have to tell the people, is this a want or is this a need? You can't, there's a lot of wants out there. We can't just say, just because you want this doesn't make what's best for the school. As far as me, someone come to me and ask things about, I realize with substitutes, it is very difficult sometimes to get substitutes. For me, what I do for the teachers right there's a lot of days there's many days where I'm covering a class just because it's my goal, and some days it doesn't always work out this way. I don't want to have a teacher to give up their playing time more than once in a week, possibly. But if I had some teachers, my goal never to have a teacher 2 days in a row. I've actually had it so the students are coming to me, I'm covering classes, going out there and trying to hopefully help recruit substitutes out there. Look how good our school is, treating them right, communicating with them, basically highlighting the perks of being in the school district in this environment. You're not going to be coming in. You're going to have the support from the teachers, the staff, the administration for what they're going to want to do. What was the second part of the question?
What strategies would you use to address challenges unique to small rural schools, such as limited resources, staffing, or access to extracurricular opportunities while maintaining high educational standards?
As far as going to the extracurricular activities, we feel the need. We've taken assessments of what the students' needs are, what the students want, and what they need, and what we can do. We've made connections with the Booster Club, the PTO, gone into businesses, talked to businesses, if they can donate their time, donate their money, and just getting the kids out into the community, showing them that, hey, number one, this is where it's going to start. So if we're actually out of the community and we're helping the community, maybe the community can actually kick back to us. Because right now we just had our track meeting just at Wakefield. This is actually a really good thing. We had our track meeting at Wakefield. Wakefield has been in really high need of track uniforms. The connections we made, we just had a donation made for all brand new track uniforms for 6th through for the high school. Actually, basically junior high all the way through high school. You don't get that just by not building the relationships with people and making the people feel that they're valued.
How would you advocate for our high school students, staff, and families when working with the superintendent, school board, and the legislature, particularly when it comes to securing our resources, so supporting academic programs, and addressing our school's specific needs?
The first thing is if you ask me a question, there's no question I have not been told no to or been answered with a no. I'm not afraid of hearing no. I'm also not a person who's going to be, sometimes they say the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Sometimes if you're too squeaky, it kind of all of a sudden the ears start turning off. But just knowing if you come to me, and also I would put a team together. I've had building advisory teams in the past where we've had a whole team come together, like once a month. People are coming with their concerns, what are the needs, and we're advocating as a team and myself going up to the superintendent, asking questions, trying to figure out what's happening in local school districts, other school districts around the area, what possible funding is out there, because there's plenty of grants, there's plenty of opportunities for our students to be able to get free resources, so to speak, that maybe they're just not aware of. And it's just letting the teachers and the students know that my role up here is, the only way I do the best of my job is you guys are doing your best, because if everyone else is doing terrible, that's a reflection of me, and they're not going to start with the staff, they're going to start with the principal. And to me, it's make sure everyone else is doing their best possibly they can do. It goes with students too. Being in the hallways, talking to the students, making those relationships, letting them know, number one, know you care, because they don't know how much you love them until they know how much you care, because you can do every little thing in the background, never letting them know a thing, but until they actually see how much you're appreciative of them, they're never going to be able to step up and take it. And also being able to admit your mistakes. I've had students come up where I made the wrong call, and the student said something about it. I said, yes, I made a mistake, and I gain the respect of people just knowing that I am not above making mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. But the best way we learn is from making mistakes, like the reason we're in school. The only way you learn is by making mistakes. Unfortunately, we have to make a lot of mistakes to learn, because if we knew everything, why would we be at school? And we're on the same field as everyone else.
Those are all of the questions prepared by our Board of Education and our PTO. I want to thank you for joining us today and for attending our public forum. I want to thank all of you for taking time to be here, and on your way out, if you'll stop by that table and make sure that you have signed in just to let us know who all was in attendance today. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right, everyone, thanks for joining into our stream today. I'm Nathan Bortnick. I've been the producer today. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm going to cut to my camera right now so you're on me. Hey, guys, what's going on? Thanks.